Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the most incredible, dramatic stories out there. We're gonna trace an epic journey that goes from an absolutely impossible, miraculous victory straight into a really harsh, exhausting desert trial, literally in just a matter of days. It's a story of super high highs, incredibly low lows, and just amazing provision. I'm so pumped to walk you and your family through this today because the lessons tucked inside this journey, they're absolutely timeless. Let's get right into it. Okay, so I want you to imagine something real quick. Have you ever been incredibly thirsty? And I don't just mean, needing a quick sip of water after running around the yard. I mean that deep, exhausting, bone-dry thirst where your mouth feels like cotton and a glass of ice-cold water is literally the only thing you can think about. Keep that exact feeling in mind, all right? Because that intense need for a drink is gonna set up the central conflict of our whole story today. But before we get to the thirst, we actually have to start with a massive celebration. Because, guys, the impossible happened. The Red Sea parted. I mean, picture this. You're standing on the shore of a giant sea, and there's this massive, angry army charging right at you from behind. There is literally nowhere to go. But then, God completely rescues the Israelites from Pharaoh's mighty army by opening up the sea itself. No way, right? He makes a dry path right down the middle of these huge crashing waves, and once they make it safely to the other side, boom, the water closes right back up. The enemy is gone and they are completely free. Obviously, this wild rescue kicks off a massive, totally joyful celebration on the shores of the Red Sea. Everyone is just praising the Lord with everything they've got. Right at the center of all this is their leader, Moses. He is just filled with absolute joy and relief. So he lifts his hands up toward heaven, right there on the shore, and he starts belting out this beautiful song of thanks. He says, "I will sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and its rider he has thrown into the sea." Just think about that for a second. Moses joyfully leading thousands and thousands of people in this massive song of thanks. The air is filled with singing, the golden sunlight is bouncing off the calm water, and the people finally know they are safe. No army was gonna beat God's mighty hand. And it wasn't just Moses leading the charge here. His sister, Miriam, echoed those exact same joyous words. "Sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously." She actually grabs a tambourine, and pretty soon all the women are joining in. They're playing tambourines, dancing around with these colorful scarves under this bright blue sky. You've got kids clapping, families hugging, the whole shebang. Everyone is just basking in the fact that God is their strength, their protector, and their salvation. I mean, this was the ultimate freedom party. So that brings us to section 1, into the wilderness. But as we know, celebrations don't last forever, right? Following their miraculous victory at the sea, they transition straight into a harsh 3-day journey through the wilderness, eventually arriving at a place called Marah. It's a pretty wild transition to go from a beautiful, sparkling water scene straight into dry, dusty sand. They traveled through that scorching desert for 3 whole days. Now, remember that deep, crazy thirst we talked about earlier? Imagine walking across a dry, dusty desert, mountains way off in the distance, just baking under the hot afternoon sun. And now imagine doing that for 3 entire days. The families are exhausted, the kids are carrying around these totally empty water jars. Everyone is just desperately scanning the horizon, hoping to find a stream, a well, literally anything to drink. They're totally exhausted, and honestly, they're getting dangerously thirsty. Finally, they arrive at this place called Marah, and they spot a small lake. Oh man, can you imagine the excitement? But when they rush up to taste the water, they discover a terrible, terrible reality. The water was completely bitter, totally undrinkable. That disappointment must have just been crushing, and it leads directly to this desperate, terrified question: what shall we drink? They're stuck out in the desert, no fresh water in sight, and sheer panic just takes over. And when things hit rock bottom, we actually see 2 totally different reactions. On one hand, you have the people. They kind of forget the massive miracle they literally just saw 3 days ago, and they become super fearful and start complaining. They just let that anxiety completely take the wheel. But then you have Moses. He stays calm. Instead of panicking, he gets down on his knees and immediately cries out to the Lord for help, basically saying, "Lord, please help your people." Which leads us right into section 2, a sweet miracle. Because Moses turned to prayer instead of panic, we get to see this incredibly beautiful response. It happens in 4 specific steps. Step 1, Moses cries out for help. Step 2, God shows him a special tree nearby, giving Moses a very specific instruction. Step 3, Moses obeys and throws that tree directly into the water. And then, step 4, the water actually becomes sweet. Magical ripples move across the surface, and when the people go to taste it this time, it's perfectly clear and fresh. Families are cheering, kids are drinking their fill. God provided exactly what they needed, exactly when they needed it, all because Moses obeyed. This whole moment is just such a powerful reminder. Think about bitter water versus sweet, fresh water. God has the power to completely transform a situation. He literally took bitter water, this disappointing, bad, useless thing, and turned it into sweet, fresh water, which is wonderful and life-saving. It really shows us that even when things look totally hopeless, God can change the entire picture in an absolute instant. Right after the water became sweet, Moses gathers the families together to teach them a really vital lesson about God's promise. And it boils down to this: trust him completely, obey his voice, and he will care for you. You see, God used this incredible miracle at Marah to teach the Israelites that if they just listen to him and obey him, he is always going to provide for their needs. He was proving, right there in the harsh desert, that he is entirely faithful. All right, moving on to our final part, section 3, rest and promises. Adeline. So after the big trial at Marah, God leads his people a little further into the desert to this beautiful oasis called Elim. And check this out. He didn't just give them like a tiny little puddle to share. No, he provided 12 sparkling, flowing springs of water. 12. That is an absolute abundance of fresh, cool water for all those families and all their animals. Way more than enough. But wait, that's not all. Along with those 12 springs, God provided 70 palm trees. 70. Just imagine the beautiful, peaceful shade those huge palm leaves provided after such a long, exhausting, scary journey. Kids are laughing again, birds are flying around, and families are finally actually resting comfortably in the cool shade. They got to just kick back and thank God for his incredible goodness. And honestly, that brings us right back full circle to this beautiful verse. The Lord is my strength and my song. He has become my salvation. That's Exodus 15:2. Remember, this is exactly what Moses sang at the Red Sea, but it rings just as true here at the oasis of Elim. The joy they felt at the sea, that isn't just for the easy times. It's a deep, real truth they can carry right into the dry wilderness. God is their strength when they are super weak, and he's their salvation when things look bitter and impossible. Which leaves us with one final, super important question to think about today. When life becomes difficult, how can we trust God instead of complaining? Think about the Israelites for a second. It is so easy to complain when the water gets better, isn't it? But this explainer really reminds us that God is faithful, he's loving, and he always provides what we need, right in his perfect timing. So I want to invite you today. The next time you face a bitter water moment in your own life, just pause, remember this journey, and choose to trust him. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Keep learning, keep trusting, and I will catch you next time.